All right, hello guys. Welcome to Screen Stinger. So guys, today we are going to watch the Matrix 4 movie, Matrix 4 Resurrections. Trailer yesterday, guys. Jeff already watched it. Jeff is with me today. Why don't you say hi to everybody, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on? I'm excited to talk
Jeff
about
already
this.
watched it. I didn't watch it. I'm gonna watch it today. Jeff's gonna rewatch it. We're gonna react. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Matrix 4 about it. We're gonna try to dissect a little bit of what's going on in the trailer and perhaps other things that maybe you guys missed out on. So, all right,
All right,
we're gonna start rolling this trailer, Jeff.
switch over, and here we go.
Do you remember how you got here? You've lost your capacity to discern reality from fiction. What's real is here and now. Anything else is just your mind playing tricks on you. It becomes a problem when fantasies endanger us. We don't want anyone to get hurt, do we?
This is the moment for you to show us what is real right now. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Could be. This is the first day of the rest of your life. But if you want it, you gotta fight for it.
All right,
Okay.
so there's kind of like two in one right there.
Well, first of all, they're saying that there's gonna be a trailer, so I guess the full trailer is gonna be released tomorrow, from what
Right.
we're understanding. So we'll probably do an update video tomorrow. But um, yeah, I kind of got some goosebumps. I have some mixed feelings about it. I mean, I'm a big Matrix fan, but I don't know. Maybe you go ahead first, since you might have more to say on this than me.
So I actually, so like I did the article and stuff on the site, and I kind of broke it down image by image because they only pop up there for like a split second. And there's some things that you kind of have to know ahead of time. And so like the first couple of times I watched it, I'm like, what the hell is like this doesn't feel like the Matrix at all. And then once you kind of understand the rumored plot, it makes a little bit more sense. So the idea is Neo is has no recollection of the original movies. So he's in the Matrix. Neil Patrick Harris is his psychiatrist, who is actually the voice in the first
Hilarious.
part. And so once you start breaking that down, okay, so he has no recollection. He's going to the psychiatrist. It looks like they're giving him the blue pills to kind of keep him sedated and in the Matrix and stuff. And so you get these little snippets, and I think that this is either like they're doing something with the timeline, and they're doing like an alternate reality, because at the end of Revolutions, not even at the end, Trinity dies like halfway through the movie, and then Neo sacrifices himself at the end. So I think this is an alternate timeline where Neo hasn't been unplugged, and they're keeping him sedated, and you see this with the blue pills, and this shot where he's jumping off the building. I think this is
Yeah.
him realizing that he's in the Matrix. This is his whoa moment again. And you can see everybody's like rushing to the edge to like get a hold of him and everything. So I think it's going to be like a rediscovering of what's going on. And the reason that I say it's like another timeline is two times in the teaser there's the black cat, which that means a glitch if he sees it twice. But these doorways in Matrix Reloaded, we find out about the Keymaster. They have like back ends to the different programs and stuff, and they use the doors. I think this is a doorway to another timeline, and we see it again. I think earlier in the first part of this teaser, it looks like an agent, and they open the door, and it's kind of sideways. You can't really tell what's going on, but when they go through it, it doesn't look like a hallway. It doesn't look like anything. I think it's this shot right here. Nope, but that's a cool shot too,
Yeah.
where they're kind of like going back to the beginning. And then, of course, in the second part, we see him, who we assume is Neo, taking the red pill. We see another agent interrogation like we saw in the original. See if I can find. We see like another subway fight. There's another
know what?
split-second shot that makes
I like
me
the way
think.
you're breaking it down because I have to say personally, I kind of feel like the trailer is a little, at least this trailer, see tomorrow, but I feel like it's a little underwhelming. Like it's not going to really make people go crazy. But now that you're explaining more about it, because I watched the Matrix movies, but honestly, besides the first one, I kind of forgot the other one. So I'm glad that you're kind of bringing all this up because I didn't think the other ones were all that great. So
And they're
hopefully
not.
this one's gonna be, hopefully this one's gonna be better. But I like the way you're kind of breaking it down there because, yeah, I feel like that kind of everything you're saying makes a lot of sense, and it actually adds more to the trailer. Just the trailer itself, honestly, it's a little confusing, and it sounds puzzling because it almost sounds some of it like the original Matrix, like
Exactly.
like this reality versus non-reality, and then you're like, oh, but wait a second, I already watched the original Matrix. This is kind of confusing. We already know this, so I think you're right. It's going to be kind of perhaps an alternate reality, or maybe an alternate kind of dimension, or something like
Yeah.
that.
What I did in the article too is because the rumors are we're going to see a young Morpheus. That's why Lawrence Fishburne isn't in it, and so I'm thinking that it's going to be kind of a reverse, where in the original we see Morpheus unplug Neo, get him into the real world. I think we might see kind of a changing where Neo is woken up first, a little later in this timeline, and he has to go and unplug Morpheus. And this is that shot that I was talking about. It's a sideways shot of what looks like an agent going through this glowing, kind of lit up door. And I think the
This
agents.
is the other side of what we saw before.
Yeah. So I go into it and I talk about like I think the agents are going from timeline to timeline to timeline and just finding all of the Thomas Andersons to try to stop Neo from ever happening whatsoever. And I also think that that's what we see with this guy. I think this is just probably some poor guy named Thomas Anderson who they found and interrogated, and he has no idea what's going on. So that's kind of what I was thinking with the clips, and kind of going off the rumors because we don't really know a lot. We just kind of are assuming a lot. But that's kind of the alternate reality one makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the actor? So we know that Keanu Reeves is going to be returning as Neo.
Right.
So he is the because we kind of had this conversation yesterday when you watched this, and I guess some other people are saying it too. But he kind of has long hair now. He doesn't.
I
He
would
looks
say,
more like a John Wick
yeah.
than a Neo, and I don't think that we're the only ones that are saying that. It seems to be kind of going around, and people that have watched it seem to be commenting on that. So
It
we'll see how that
does-
works out. A long-haired, kind of like
Yeah.
perhaps with a stubble kind of Neo versus the clean-cut younger version.
I think it
We'll-
does take you out of it just a little bit, especially since John Wick and stuff has come out and kind of redefined the action genre, at least in
Right.
the last decade. And
Right.
then, like, you can't just cut your hair for a movie. Like I get it.
Yeah,
I got long hair too. It grows back. I always shave and cut my hair, especially for something like this where so many people have their hopes up, and you're revisiting a trilogy that's been essentially
Neo look is
over.
iconic, so it seems like a puzzling decision to kind of get away from what Neo is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
But some people have said that Keanu Reeves just doesn't look good anymore with short hair and no beard. I don't know. That's what
Maybe.
that's what some
Maybe.
people have said.
I mean, he was clean shaved for Bill and Ted, and I don't know. I thought he looked like Keanu Reeves, so I don't know.
He doesn't really age, but yeah. So we'll see how that works out. Now, so we know that Morpheus, Lawrence Fishburne is not returning as Morpheus. So that part of the story is going to be played by somebody else. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, could that be his voice in the second part of this trailer?
I believe so. It's I can't say his name, but he's Black Manta in Aquaman, and he's in the new Candyman. Yeah, Mateen. Yeah, I can't do it, but I believe
I don't think
that
I'd be
that's
better
him.
than you. Right. Okay.
So I do think that he's playing a young Morpheus, and I think it's a good pick. I like him a lot in the stuff that I've seen him in. And then
All right.
Carrie Ann Moss is returning as well,
Oh, nice.
which is
That-
the whole resurrections part, I guess, because her and Neo are coming back to life somehow. We don't know how.
Yeah. I guess that we'll have to watch and find out. So just off of watching this trailer, so was there any other thing that you wanted to add in terms of the explanation of the trailer? Because I feel like you kind of did a pretty good job there.
There's one more thing I wanted to mention, and that's
Yeah.
with this scene with Carrie Ann Moss.
Right.
It's very brightly lit, gives you the idea of like happy and stuff. And as you see Neo kind of move in to hold her hand, she kind of pulls her hand back.
Yep.
I feel like this adds more fuel to like the alternate timelines, and like in this timeline, they don't know each other, and like he may start having memories and stuff of this stuff again, but as he goes and he sees her, she has no idea who he is, and she's like, "What the hell? Get away from me!" And that kind of goes with the whole, because in the first trilogy, there's a lot of like Jesus and religious imagery and stuff. It's very Zack Snydery in that sense. And at the end of Revolutions, we actually see Neo with his arms out floating with a cross, and so it's kind of like the Jesus Reborn story, but
But
with
you can
Neo.
also see it in the light. You see the light behind them. So you're saying that it's happy, but it could also be kind of a bit of a reference to, like we saw the light behind the door
Yeah,
earlier. So it doesn't have to be necessarily happy. It could be just the the otherness or something else.
right. It kind of gives that illusion of like, oh look, this
Yeah,
is
it does. It
completely
does.
opposite from the rest. And then
It does.
yeah, it's just like she just pulls her hand away. And then okay,
Interesting.
there is one more thing, because there's a lot of little clips in here. We do see kind of like the original scene where she's sitting down and the cops come in, and we get the famous freeze in midair and kick stuff. So we might get to see some more of that, but we also get a look at the Sentinels, which is super exciting. It's a super
Yeah.
cool shot, very colorful, lit really well, of them kind of what looks like harvesting humans and stuff.
And we use that in the thumbnail.
Yeah, because it just looks cool.
It looks cool.
So I'm just, I don't know. The first couple times I watched this, I was really kind of and then once I started kind of getting into it and kind of breaking everything down, and I I don't know. Now I'm kind of feeling the other way about it.
So do you think this is more like Matrix 1 or more like Matrix Revolutions or,
I think
the
I think this could be because it's not.
it's hard to say though. It's
it's
hard
not-
to say right now.
Yeah. I don't feel like it's like a direct sequel, but it's also kind of a soft reboot. And I think I compared it to Mad Max Fury Road, where it's a continuation of the story, but at the same time they're rebooting it, relaunching it into something new. And I kind of feel maybe that's what they're trying to do here, because they're still, and it comes in the time where we're getting Cobra Kai and all these other shows where they're bringing back these old characters and putting them in new storylines. And so I kind of get that vibe from it as well, where they're just like, let's continue it, see what happens.
Do you think this could be the start of perhaps a new trilogy or a new series of Matrix movies?
And maybe not with the original actors. I think maybe they might hand it off, and maybe they'll do like a young Morpheus, a young. I don't know, but maybe.
Interesting. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I could see that working out actually. But they just bring Keanu back to reboot the Matrix franchise, and then that could be interesting. Yeah, I could see that working out.
They just kind of give it some juice and stuff with Keanu and Carrie, and hand it off to like a new wave of
Interesting.
actors.
Yeah, there's so many possibilities here. Look, I like I said, I like the way you broke down the trailer, because when we just watched it at the beginning of this video, it felt underwhelming to me. But honestly, I'm a little more excited about it now.
Yeah,
It just
I felt the same.
I don't know. It felt like deja vu, and I was like, why am I excited for this?
It's a glitch.
Yeah, like I've seen this before. Like I'm having kind of like these flashbacks, because it's been a while since I watched The Matrix. But I'm like, I don't see anything new here. But now that you kind of broke it down, and everything you're saying kind of, I would say makes a lot of sense. So I'm kind of quite pumped for it.
I hope so. And I like the idea of like, even though Reloaded and Revolutions they weren't great, they're still like, if they're doing the doorway thing like they did in Reloaded, like it's a cool, like they're still saying that it happened. They're still saying like, yeah, we still have the doors that go to the back ends of these programs. And I don't know. I think it could be really awesome, and it could be really terrible.
Yeah, it could be either a massive flop or a big success. They're releasing it, I think, in December, early December, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that was right.
Right.
Yep, December
Right before
22nd.
22nd, right? So right before Christmas. So they're banking on this
allegories.
They, yeah, or just like, they want to get those Oscars and all those things, and I think that's just around when you're supposed to release a movie to maximize your chances. Also for money making, they're probably also hoping that more people will be going to the theaters as well by then, and stuff too. So, but yeah, the Jesus allegory definitely interesting too. So you never know. Lots of things going on. There's a lot
of it. There's a lot of that in the original trilogy.
That's pretty awesome. So, yeah, was there anything else you wanted to add? I think you kind of covered it pretty well, and they're releasing another, like, the full trailer tomorrow, so we're gonna have more information, and maybe we can do another video, and in fact we can kind of take what you said today about this trailer and compare it to the to the full trailer tomorrow, and see if there's any changes in these theories that we have about it so far.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, the last thing I wanted to mention before we get out of here is, I mean, just in this teaser alone, we were talking about the Oscars and stuff, and I like visual effects and cinematography. Like, just the shot of him walking across the street is breathtaking. Like, there's so many different colors. It's contrasting with the orange, yellow, and the blue. It just looks great. And then something that I wanted to get into was this Simulate, which I think this is like
what is that?
I think this is like a internet cafe thing, and I think that I don't know.
Simulate.
Simulate.
Okay.
Yeah. On the
yeah, right. It's right. I was like, what are you talking about? Simulate. Like, okay,
So,
I see it right there.
Yeah. So
Simulate. Yeah, interesting, right? Because it has simulation in it, right?
Yeah. So I wonder if it's like this is still part of the Matrix, where they go in and they're just like, it's like a internet cafe, or if this is potentially like a place where he goes and gets plugged in to the Matrix. Well, it gets like called out of the Matrix and stuff. And so I kind of went into that, and like, maybe, okay, one last thing, because there's a lot to this. So in the beginning with Neil Patrick Harris as the psychiatrist, and this is kind of like an older Neo. If it is an alternate reality, or if he's like the reborn version of Neo, which would be the Jesus allegory, this Neo, in the beginning of the original movie, have you ever had a dream you were so sure was real? And he has trouble sleeping. He's got these ideas and visions in his head about like how he's in the Matrix, but he can't really piece it together. Maybe the reason that he's seeing a psychiatrist is this Neo has aged and he hasn't been unplugged, and he just keeps going crazy because he's having these, like he realizes that he's in the Matrix, but he can't piece it together, and so he's going to see the psychiatrist, and they're like, take all these blue pills, take them all, so you don't question it. And then maybe this is just the place that he goes when he can't sleep, and this is where the real world is like feeding him information to the computer like they did in the original. I don't know, man. I'm pumped. There's a lot that could happen. It could just be a cafe. I don't know, but
I doubt it. I doubt it's just a cafe. But this, what you're talking about, is a different theory. Like we are talking about.
Yeah.
Like
So
it's just this would be so. So in this theory, this would be a continuation, like a sequel.
and this would just be like a reborn version of Neo, which would be the resurrection, the Jesus reborn, Neo in a new person who hasn't been unplugged yet, but is now having these memories. Yeah.
Now, I think the psychiatrist might be some kind of higher power in this thing. He might just be, he might not just be a psychiatrist. I have a sneaky suspicion about that.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like,
the psychiatrist holds a lot of power, especially in this kind of setting where you're talking about alternating realities, different worlds and stuff. The psychiatrist is kind of like the master of that.
Are you saying he's a machine?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but
Probably.
I'm just saying.
Probably.
Watch out for that psychiatrist. We'll see what happens with him. But there might be more to that angle than we see right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if people want to see kind of like the full breakdown, I did like a 1,200 word article. I broke it down with images.
We'll leave a link to that.
So if you guys,
I think this is all good stuff, and I think that it's going to be somewhere along these lines. Anyways, I don't. This kind of fits in with the Matrix, ideology,
exactly.
or just the way that they seem to do things. So I think you're onto something for sure. I mean, we could be, of course, totally wrong, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
We'll
there's a lot of different possibilities. We're going off of a lot of rumors and theories, and this is just me guessing.
I'm kind of like really pumped now. I want to kind of like do more digging into it.
This is what I did last night. This is for like 2 hours. This is all I did.
Yeah. I'm kind of really pumped for this. I kind of feel like going back and rewatching the old ones and stuff.
Yeah.
This is good. So I think we kind of we kind of broke it down pretty well. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop it right here, and we'll come back tomorrow when they release the new trailer. If they release it tomorrow, that's kind of what we're getting the idea. And we'll do a little update. If there's any new information, if there's no new information in the new trailer, keep it as is. But if there is any new information, we'll come back and do some updates and kind of like check back with the theories that we had today, and see if they're still valid tomorrow. What do you think?
For sure, yeah, definitely. I'm excited. I was pining to talk about this all night last night. Nobody would talk to me.
Yes,
about
I know.
It. So
there you go.
I
finally got it out of your system.
I'm excited. Oh, there's still more too, but we'll get into it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get into it tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna leave it right here, guys. So if you guys are still watching, please give the video a big thumbs up. Please subscribe for more content, and we'll be back tomorrow, guys. All right, take care.